You're looking at a man who just wasted 2 hours watching the new Netflix urinal cake, Atlas. I'm not a happy camper. I didn't go into this expecting a modern masterpiece, but I expected to at least be entertained with some mindless sci-fi. And speaking of mindless, the audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes continue to make me sick to my stomach. How could 53% of people that suffered this torture actually enjoy it to any capacity? That's like being excited when you step on a rusty nail barefoot. It's just painful. It's a complete waste of 2 hours. And this is coming from someone who really appreciates bad films. I think there is this fine, beautiful line where a movie is objectively horrible and it is so bad that it becomes entertaining. Just absolutely immaculate, like Moonfall. But Atlas never crosses this so bad it's good line. The only line Atlas crosses is the one between my butt cheeks. It's shit. So let's go ahead and break this down and explain why this is yet another horrible Netflix original. But before I do that, because it's gonna get a little rambunctious here. I feel insulted, honestly, for having wasted this time on it. But before I really get into it and dive into the weeds, I want to once again just remind everyone that my GamerSupps Waifu Shaker Cup is only available for the next week or so, and then it'll never be sold again. So pick this puppy up at gamersupps.gg. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's the finest goblet you'll ever drink out of, I promise. Now, back to Atlas. This film stars Jennifer Lopez, and it's all about the nightmare of AI! It's all about AI going rogue and looking to exterminate humanity. It is the most generic plot you will ever see in a sci-fi film. This took every single cliche that has ever existed in this genre and rolled it into one unapologetic package that just stains the screen. Like, I feel my TV was weeping just having to show me this movie. Let me explain the plot to you. So, it's the future, and humanity has advanced so much that AI has become integral to our existence. They're in everything. And we have AI robot companions, and one of them, the super robot companion named Harland, he breaks the code. He goes against the programming, and he's able to do so for other AI as well, and he leads a rebellion, and he gets labeled the first AI terrorist. At the height of his infamy, he decides to shoot off into the cosmos. The explanation they give makes you believe that the humans were starting to rally and beat him, but multiple times throughout the film, they contradict that by saying Harland's never been this close to capture. This is our best chance we've ever had of beating Harland. So if that's the case, that means that Harland was winning on Earth. Why in the fuck, at his peak, would he just shoot off into space? So Buster saddles up and hops in a space shuttle and shoots off into the night sky to another planet in the galaxy. I mean, cool, I guess. And then the movie fast forwards 28 years later, and that's when we're introduced to Jennifer Lopez's character, Atlas. And she has a special connection to Harlan because her mother created him. And I'm going to get into spoilers, so be warned. Actually, you're welcome, not be warned. Me spoiling this film and saving you 2 hours, that should give me a fucking Medal of Honor. I'm doing a public service by spoiling it. So anyway, Harlan leaves to go get milk. He's spring breaking over in the Andromeda Galaxy at GR39. And he's cooking up a nefarious plan. And I'm just bringing out the biggest spoilers instantly because I wanted to spit when his motivation was revealed, because the whole movie builds up the mystery of, like, why does he want to kill humanity? Like, how did he break the programming and all of that? And it took, I'm not kidding you, it took the exact same story that has been told in 5,000 movies before this and just told it again the exact same way, and it doesn't even do it better or put its own unique spin on it. The reason Harlan turned on humanity and wanted to, like, fight us and kill us is because humans are detrimental to Earth. He scanned, and he scanned, and he saw the horrors humanity was capable of and that we would inevitably destroy ourselves and our planet. So the only thing he could do was exterminate half of our population in order to save us from ourselves and save the planet. Where have you heard that story before? Besides a million fucking times previously. It's ironic. A movie all about AI and, like, the dangers that can come from it was 100% written by AI. And I know that is a criticism that gets tossed around super often, but I am convinced in this case, this is the product of a large component of AI being used in its production. There's no other explanation. It doesn't even try. It actually takes like 1,000 sci-fi movies over the last 3 decades, boils them down to like the cliff notes of each of them, and puts it into this movie, and nothing different. It doesn't try any unique spin. It even has like futuristic Los Angeles, where all the buildings are like fucking spiral DNA helix shaped. Like they're all loopy and rounded and like goofy, like Salvador Dali paintings. Like the most generic idea of what future looks like. Future. It actually looks like Akon City in this movie. Like, I feel like they modeled, like, future Los Angeles after what Akon City was pitching. It's ridiculous. So, that's the big thing. Harlan wants to destroy us, to save us. He's actually the fucking hero. And Jennifer Lopez's character, Atlas, is the one that was responsible for him breaking the code, getting out of the Matrix. So, what happened is, since her mother created him, they were basically like siblings, and she got jealous that Harlan was getting more attention from mommy than she was, so she went up to Harlan and said, I want to be more like you, and he's like, well, in order to do that, you're going to need to put on this earpiece and say the magic words abracadabra, so that way I can send data to you, and they can have a back and forth data transfer. So she's like, okay, so he gives her like this Bluetooth headset, which is what the Neuralink that they use to, you know, sync with their AI companions. And prior to this, no AI had ever been able to like go back and forth and break the code. But Atlas gives him permission, and he immediately takes it and has the mother grab a gun and shoot herself. So he overrides her motor functions since they were Neuralinked, and now that he can send data to her as opposed to just a one-way, he has her grab a gun and shoot herself. And then he decides to wage war against humanity. So before I even get in any deeper than this, also a huge component of the movie is about Atlas learning to trust AI again after this betrayal. So she goes on this deep space mission to apprehend Harlan, take his CPU back to Earth so they can study how things went wrong. And on the mission, things go tits up immediately, and she's forced into this mech suit. So now she's like the fucking Gundam pilot here, and she's having to bond with this AI who she has a deep hatred for and a mistrust because of Harlan. And it's like this little buddy cop thing where they're teasing each other back and forth and learning to get along. But anyway, I'll get to that soon. When this plot point was revealed at the end of the movie about why Harlan was doing what he was, the immediate question was raised in my noodle up here. Why the fuck did Harlan flee Earth in the first place? Like, his plan revolved around getting Atlas to join this mission in deep space to bring him a ship with warheads, basically nuclear warheads, that would fry the atmosphere of Earth and exterminate so many of them. But they had this, like, defense force field around Earth that she had half of the code to, and another guy had half the code to, so he needed to figure out this really deep, intricate plot to get them to deep space. So it starts with her capturing one of the AI on Earth, who, like, gives up his location, but it was all part of Harlan's plan. He was the puppet master, he was behind all of it. But the question becomes, why leave Earth in the first place if you had to wait 28 years to do this plan because it was so fucking difficult to get them to pursue you to this distant planet, to give you a ship to come back to Earth to blow up Earth? Why not just stay on Earth and just use the fucking warheads there? Like, he made it so much more difficult for himself. And I don't, unless I missed it, like maybe I dozed off at some point when they explained why he left Earth for that plan. Because that plan is significantly easier if he's in the same fucking galaxy. Like, if he's in the same place, if he's still on Earth, he can get access to those weapons without ever needing a 28-year plan to get a ship out there with the weapons and then piloting the ship back to Earth, breaching the perimeter, and then blowing it up. You would already be within the fucking perimeter and you'd already have access to the weapons. Why would you even leave the planet in the first place? This is the dumbest AI terrorist of all time. Like, he's super stupid. He's super dumb. They made it seem like humanity was beating him on Earth, but they keep saying time and time again, trying to fucking drill it into your skull, that Harlan is the chess master. And chess... I didn't even mean to make this bridge here, this fucking Neuralink. Chess also plays a role in this movie because Harlan taught Atlas to play chess and then tells her, like, hey, when you put this earpiece on, it might hurt, so grip your favorite chess piece. So she grabs the chess piece, and then in, like, one of the earlier scenes in the film, she plays chess against AI and checkmates it. It goes, whoa, that's fucking, you know, jaw on the floor moment type thing. But anyway, Harlan's like this unbeatable person. They've never even come close to capturing him until he's on the Andromeda GR39 planet. So again, they keep saying they've never been this close, which means on Earth they weren't close. Why would he flee? His plan is much easier and would have been significantly more successful if he stayed on Earth to do it. Why the fuck would he take off into a spaceship? It's dumb. It's super dumb. But I don't want to focus on that too much, which I already have for quite a while. Now, what happened is, once they've tracked him to GR39 after, interrogating one of the AI fugitives on Earth, they send out this mission, and they have these giant mech suits, and Atlas, wants to go along because she hates Harlan and needs to see him killed, and she feels responsible for him breaking the protocol and whatever. So as they get to GR39, because they have fucking faster than light travel, obviously, they get to GR39, and Harlan was expecting them. So he blows up their ship, and all of the Rangers in their mech suits, they get slaughtered, and Jennifer Lopez was forced into her mech suit, and she doesn't want to sync with it because she doesn't trust AI. But she needs to trust AI because it's the only way she's going to survive. So she's traversing the planet in the mech suit, and most of the movie is spent just with her talking to the AI, doing almost fucking nothing. It's so boring. It's so lame. And it doesn't even try and do anything deep. It just tells the same story we've seen 1,000 times about, blurring the lines between what is and is not living. Can AI have a soul? Which is a conversation they have point blank. It's really on the nose. That's most of the movie. And so Atlas and Smith is the name of the AI. They just talk a lot, and they keep trying to formulate plans, and Smith is like, tell me more about yourself, Atlas. It's the only way that we can reach 100% synchronization, because they can't fully sync because she won't let him fully in. And then there's a couple of actions, there's one action scene that happens where she's getting ambushed by AI that Harlan has there, and she detonates an ion bomb. It's really, I thought the action would be cooler than it was, because how can you fuck up having a mech suit? Just having mech action against AI soldiers, that's just a recipe for enjoyable, fucking shove popcorn in your mouth action. But they fumble it. They really do. So, the ion bomb goes off and they get vaporized, and that's, the whole scene. And then, again, it's her just kind of, scheming. Eventually she finds Harlan's base, and then we get to the final climactic moment where she 100% synchronizes by revealing the truth to the AI. After Harlan's about to go destroy all the humans on Earth, he says, fuck these cringe meat puppets, we gotta keep Earth safe from them. And then she busts free after reaching 100% synchronization with Smith, and then she gets back into Smith, and the two of them are this killing machine, and this is the only good sequence in the movie, the very end. So, Smith has 4 arms, and he's fucking dual-wielding pipes and knives, so he's got akimbo knives on the right side, and then dual pipes on the left side, and he just starts chopping up a bunch of AI soldiers, and it's actually cool. It's very reminiscent of Titanfall kind of combat, and I appreciated that. The action was legitimately cool, and it made me even more upset because that could have been the bulk of the fucking movie. If you had just focused on it just being this mech on AI fucking kill fest action and not even bother trying to regurgitate the exact same sci-fi plots we've seen a million times, this could have been an enjoyable film. It absolutely could have. I don't know who directed the fight scenes at the end, but they needed more freedom to, interject that throughout the rest of the movie. Because then there might have been something worth watching here, something of quality. And the final fight between Atlas and Harlan, in the mech suit, was really good. Harlan was super cool with his fucking plasma sword, which he eventually turns into a plasma whip. It was great. That was actually fun. Why wouldn't you have just put all your eggs in that basket and just made it a fun action movie, as opposed to just this slog of her learning to accept AI? Ugh. It's just such a waste of time. There is no reason to ever watch this movie. Even for background noise, you don't even get a lot of noise, you just get a lot of fucking ASMR talking between Jennifer Lopez and Smith AI. It's boring. Boring, damn it. There's plenty more things I can whine and moan about, but why even bother? The movie just sucks. It's just so bad. It's not even really worth, fully breaking apart, to be honest. It's just I can't even imagine who was excited to release it. Like, it does seem like Jennifer Lopez tried in her performance. It's not like her acting's bad or anything. She really did give her all when she had no material to work with here, like the flattest material ever. She did seem to really try to breathe life into it. So, I mean, props to her for that. But you can only, you can only turn dog shit into a different form of shit. And this film just doesn't have anything of value to it. I just don't know why they would even bother making it. There's nothing here that I feel like anyone in the writer's room or like the production staff would be like, yeah, that's good. Because it's all things everyone has seen so many times before, and they don't even really try with it. It's just a waste of time. I've said that like 5 times, but it actually is. So anyway, if I was to plug Atlas into the moist meter, I'd probably give it like a 20%, and that's only because that last action sequence does last for like 15 minutes. So you do get some meat with that action, and it's pretty good. So, like, I guess if you're really into, robot fighting action, you can just skip the whole movie, go to the last 15 minutes, and just appreciate that, I suppose. Like, let's say you're one of the people that bought Anthem because you love the concept of it, and Anthem was truly horrific. You could just go into this movie and watch the last 15 minutes and be like, oh, that was a nice little short. And that's probably the best way to experience Atlas. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya.